Hi everyone and welcome to today's painting tutorial where I'll take you through how I paint Midnight Blue Armour for my Aeldari forces. So I created this colour using blue model colour 50%, night blue game colour 50% and 8 drops of black in an empty squeeze bottle. Now I did this to replicate the Midnight Blue that Citadel used to make, however it's since been discontinued. So I did my absolute best to get it to look pretty much the same and I was pretty happy with the result. So after giving that a full cover of the Midnight Blue, I'm just going to use a Baden Black and Lamian Medium, and we're looking at a half-half of mix of this, and just add a little bit of water to that mix as well. And now switching over to my wet palette, I'm just going to go back to Midnight Blue and begin edge highlighting and essentially just focusing on all of the raised areas and just where the light would hit, as I wanted the Midnight Blue to be the sort of dominant color on the armor, especially for the incubi that I've been doing. Some of my other craft world Eldar are a little bit brighter, a little bit more vibrant in the blues. However, yeah, with the Drukhari, I still wanted them to have that more like sort of darker vibe about them. So now just moving on to blue model color by VALLEJO. And again, as mentioned, just going over those raised areas there. You will notice as well, I do go back and forth between colors for the duration of painting this armor. And this is one of the beauties, of course, of having a wet palette. Just keeping that paint wet for as long as you can and just being able to go back and forth between colors, blending them a little bit. And as I often mention in videos as well, for all of my finer detail, I am using my Raphael 8404 size 1 brush. And as you can see, the paints are relatively watered down as well. Just a really small amount of paint on my brush, and also moving on to LOTHERN blue. And with each progressive highlight, just doing less and less of each one. And you'll also have noticed as well, I haven't been washing the paint off my brush, as I was more than happy for these to be blended a little bit. And just using some white to pick out the edge highlights. And essentially, as you can see, the purpose of all of these additional highlights was really just to put a stronger emphasis on the Midnight Blue armor. And as you can see again, just going back to the LOTHERN blue and following over those white highlights that I did previously. And as I've definitely mentioned in videos previously as well, try and use the shape of the model to your advantage when painting. For example, as you can see, the sharp corners of the shoulder pads. And you can just quite simply just follow that around with the side of your brush and just pick out those highlights. It's something that does take a little bit of practice and time, sort of muscle memory, because, you know, years ago when I was painting miniatures, I would always point the brush down toward the miniature. I wouldn't actually think to angle the brush to the side and just sort of brush lightly against the angle of the miniature, depending on what part you're working on, of course. So definitely give yourself some time with that, but also one of those things definitely worth practicing, because I find with miniature painting, it's all the little things. There are a million little things to remember, but eventually it really does just become muscle memory. So it's definitely good practice to just try and get on top of those things earlier on, and eventually you'll be able to just keep up with them naturally. And here are some photos of the completed incubi for my Aeldari army. So I hope you found this tutorial useful today. If you did, leave a like, share with some friends, comment below of something that you might like to see me do in the near future. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you again very, very soon.